Of course, coverage today presented by Asphalt Racing Network. Sponsored by Decals, Paint, and Photoshop. And of course, Young Headed Collectibles for all your new and old vintage needs. Be sure to check them out on Whatnot. Ladies and gentlemen, as American Stock Car Racing League takes on another Gen 4 race here tonight. Of course, Gen 4 at Talladega, one more opportunity to do so. Drivers ready to go here. 8 seconds until we hit qualifying. And of course, as always, it's your man in the booth, Tyler Jones, a.k.a. Young Hitter from Young Hitter Collectibles. See a few of the drivers on field now. Mark Warren here, out on the field qualifying right now. Daniel Half as well. Russ Hancock. Todd Poston. And of course, Eric Rodeman. Ethan Horst on the track right now as well, getting a qualifying time in. Not many drivers right now, just those drivers we have named on track, getting their qualifying times done. Jeremy James going to join the track as well. As well as the 726 of Brad Matthews. Of course, we saw a little bit of this race last week. It was a little difficult for some of the drivers. Now having to go and do it all over again. Looking right now, believe Dylan Picklesimmer on track. Josh Riddle just starting his qualifying time as well. Chase Greer in the 40. Adam Kilday in the 85. The 87 of Adam Schromm on track. '71 of Trevor Yates. Of course, Tyler Hurt on field now. Slowly but surely, everybody's coming out. 48 Chase Greer still on the field right now. Kyler Adams, about a lap and a half in. Stephen Alessi out on the field now. Dalton Gibson in the 17 on track. '34 of Chris Perry as well. Vicente Guerrero. Of course, everybody, if you are just joining us now, welcome in. This is where the pressure starts. Race 6 won a race over the halfway point for the American Stock Car Racing League, where racing action is going to dominate here tonight in the Gen 4 cars. Like I said, we are officially past the halfway point to the playoffs, and of course, intensity is only going to build from here on out, as the drivers have to make it in on points if they can't get the win. And that's going to be a very difficult situation, depending on if these drivers are comfortable with these cars or not. Of course, we are in the Gen 4s right now, but we still have to go to the Xfinities and then the Gen 6 cars before we even touch the playoffs going back the first week to Daytona in the trucks. So there is still a long way for some drivers that are in difficult situations to really be able to pull themselves back out of that bubble and put themselves in to the playoffs. Now, of course, as always, last week we had a little bit of a situation. At the end there, you saw Matt Banky make contact with Gibson for the win as Gibson was getting loose. Now, there is a rule. The win was stripped. Banky officially still not a winner after 4.5 seasons now. And he will have an EOL and a points penalty on top of that, of course. New team in ASCRL. No Pasta Racing, featuring drivers Adam Kilday, Adam Schrom, Josh Ball, and Vicente Guerrero. And of course, Daniel Half as well, making their debut tonight with the long-awaited return of Robert Duvenbach to Shake and Bake Motorsports. Of course, before we even take the green flag, you know we have some big news coming out from post-race. Now, like I said, the 01 of Matthew Wilson and the 35 of Matt Banky will both be starting at the rear of the field following last week's last lap incident. And like I said, for Banky, the penalty came with a harder hit than for Wilson. The win was stripped away after that rule for the last lap. And of course, it is difficult for Banky as it has been 4.5 seasons without a win. That one would have been a race win for him. Now, of course, tough break, but still don't count him out. Now that he's touched victory lane, he's going to be going back for blood. Hopefully in a clean way that doesn't affect the outcome of his race. But we will just have to wait and see it. Now, of course, we have already seen the speed from that 35 car. And if anything, this just might light that fire for here tonight in the Gen 4s. Still, it's where he got that win was in Gen 4, so now trying to go back. Of course, now the track's at Talladega from Daytona, but he ain't starting the back, having to carve his way through the field. This could be one of the biggest stories to watch on the field tonight. So, of course, keep an eye out for that 35 machine pretty early. You'll know when you see him. Because, of course, if he gets moved forward quickly, we might be taking a redemption drive at the end of this race. Of course, now a lot of eyes are on Daniel Holloway. 2 wins, a perfect top 10 record, and a commanding points lead. The biggest question tonight, is there anyone in this field that can actually slow that man down and pull away the success that he has seen? Some calling it a golden horseshoe. Some calling it as is what it is, luck and skill. Now, of course, looking at your field right now, Sam Taylor in second, and Vicente Guerrero taking the pole here tonight on his debut. Daniel Half as well on the debut, sitting in third, with Josh Ball in fourth place, just on the outside. Rounding out your top 5 is going to be Chase Greer in the number 40, and Tyler Hurt in 6th. Just behind them in 7th and 8th is going to be Christian Rhodes and Todd Poston. 8th place behind them, to the outside, 9th place is going to be Corey Rainey. Rounding out your top 10 is going to be Matthew Wilson, not on track right now. Dalton Gibson taking 11th position here tonight, with Daniel Holloway just on the outside in 12th. Then, of course, Ethan Horst in 13th spot tonight. On the outside of him, Trevor Yates. Adam Kilday in 15th, with Dylan Picklesimmer in 16th. Looking for a bounce back after some difficult weeks, the last at least 3 weeks for him. Just in 17th position is going to be Joshua Riddle. The outside of him is going to be Jeremy James, the 73 in 18th. In 19th and 20, rounding out your top 20 drivers, Stephen Alessi and Chris Perry in 20th. Kyler Adams got 22nd, with Russ Hancock in 23rd. Eric Rodeman sitting in 23rd, Brandon Matthews in 24th. Mark Morton sitting in 25th position. Adam Schromm in his debut, just outside of a veteran in 26th. Gary Breland in 27th position, with Matt Banky in 28th. Tyler Green and Grayson Pate, 29th and 30th. Then, of course, Len McNeese in 31st. Robert McRae qualifying in 32nd, but we'll get a few bumps up due to the EOLs to Wilson and Banky. Of course, that is your entire grid. 32 cars here tonight. Vicente, taking a great pole position on his debut here with the American Stock Car Racing League Super Speedway Series. Of course, as always, ladies and gentlemen, we go 25 laps ad free. If you do have the opportunity to do so, we do appreciate it. Of course, if you are an Amazon Prime member, you get 1 free sub a month. You are able to use that here and get non-stop action, even with our picture-in-picture commercial break. Not only for the American Stock Car Racing League, but for the leagues we go live for on a weekly basis. Of course, the base car coming off now. Truck coming into 1 and 2. We're going in 3 and 4, Vicente Guerrero taking the green flag now. Lap position over Vicente Guerrero. Josh Ball second. Of course, Chase Greer in fifth, now advancing to fourth place. First of this race, still early on. Still a lot of time left, but a lot of track to maneuver as well. Of course, these cars do sound beautiful here. Different package nobody's used to. These cars sound phenomenal. Whole lot of engine here in these cars tonight. Now, of course, we were talking about Holloway. Holloway is on pace right now to run away with a regular season title. We're watching him right now. He has already moved up 4 positions from where he started in 12th. Currently sitting in 8th. Now up to 7th on the high side. Only 6 more cars in front for him to take that lead position back for another week of racing. All the way to the end of lap 99, where 100 starts. And that's where the nail biting begins. Of course, Vicente up in the lead right now. Got the lead position back. Holding on to it for as long as he possibly can. Trying to get that momentum early on. High line already making a run. Post and Gibson and Holloway. 1, 2, and 3. Vicente now getting the draft of Gibson on the bottom side. Top side. Posted on the bottom side. Gibson still holding the lead. Of course, right now, someone else to watch in 16th place, Ethan Horst. Will he finally win? Of course, at some point, his consistency has to turn into victories, right? I mean, how long can you really hold on to consistent top 5s, consistent top 10s, and it not bother you? You're not in victory lane yet. Of course, right now in 17th, he's already 4 positions down from where he started on the grid. Like I said earlier, same with Holloway. He still has a lot left in this race to go. Of course, Holloway now in the lead, leading a few laps here already tonight. But Horst still has something to prove here tonight, not to only the fans, but of course to himself in that driver's seat. Now we're looking at Holloway fall back to 22nd place. Lost a lot of momentum there. He's going to have to get it all back. Currently sitting behind Robert McRae. Already trying to make a move to get back into that top 15, then the top 10. Right now, your current leader, Christian Rose. Pickle Simmer makes a move on the outside lane. The biggest situation right now. Who survives the cutoff shuffle? Each week, these drivers from positions 8 to 16th on the points will be changing every week just based off of finishing position and consistency per driver. Of course, it's going to be a little difficult to really solidify yourself as a lot of drivers on that cut line are pretty close together. So unfortunately, might not be able to distance themselves pretty well from the other drivers in the list fighting for a playoff spot. But of course, a valiant fight and effort is worth it in the long run. Of course, right now, all eyes on the front of the pack. Christian Rhodes still holding on to the lead. Dalton Gibson on the outside trying to give a good fight. About nose to nose now. Gibson takes the lead back on the outside, trying to run away with it, but of course draft a big factor here. Will he go down and block, or will he stay in that high side? Goes down to get the draft there. You saw the lane falling off, but now the 14, Vicente Guerrero takes it back on the high side, but not for long. Lane kind of wavering up there. Now, of course, Kilday in second place, another one brand new here. Kilday doing a good job right now to hold his position and hold it strong. Josh Ball now advancing up into second place. Trevor Yates in third. Only 10 laps in. We've already seen a lot of moves within this top 10, and I do not believe it's over. Looking in the back, Vicente Guerrero moves down to fifth now. Daniel Holloway in sixth. Gibson in seventh. Rainey in eighth. Christian Rhodes in ninth, and Picklesimmer rounding out your top 10. Picklesimmer gaining 2 positions there as Rainey dives to the inside now. Here goes that run from the top side of Picklesimmer in the lead. Of course, Kilday and Ball trying to run away with the race in the front right now. Of course, Breland trying to make it work pretty early on. He jumped to third. So, of course, something's got to be going good there for him. Right now, Breland in 15th place, but it's still very early on. Strategy and draft make a big difference. And, of course, looking towards the playoffs, we could possibly see a winner miss the playoffs. Hancock pretty close to that situation, that being Russ Hancock, the 343 on your screen right now, in 24th position. He is dangerously close to proving that that is very possible for him at this point in time. And it is at a very pivotal point in the year because, of course, Trevor Yates now in the lead. But the biggest question is, will we see a new face emerge in a sea of drivers we've seen every week that haven't been able to take advantage and prevail? That now know it's go time. They don't have much time left to actually make that move or decision for themselves. Trevor Yates currently in the lead. Picklesimmer on the bottom side. Holloway went to go up to the high side, but not nobody up there blocking the 4 of Corey Rainey. Rainey 3 wide, trying to make it work by himself. He's lost a lot of positions. Holloway dropping into the low side there, trying to get a good momentum push. Of course, the Candyman is separating. Daniel Holloway that's become a big problem for the rest of the field. Even now, we've seen him fluctuate his position multiple times, but he always figures out a way back up in the top 10. Looking right now at everything he's provided us. 2 wins, 5 top 10s, and 5 top 5s. 29 stage points at this point in time, most by any driver on the field. And a 43-point lead over Ethan Horst. Of course, he is cruising to a first round bye in the playoffs with becoming the regular season champion. And at this point in time, we are just 1 race over the halfway mark. The biggest question for the Candyman is anybody actually capable of matching his consistency over 10 races? Like we said, Pickle Simmer in the lead right now. Single file action going on with Kilday, Ball, Guerrero, and Holloway rounding out your top 10 right now, top 5 right now. Tyler Hurt just behind, then Trevor Yates in a big gap. Before we get to the next part of the field. Right now, as we were speaking of Horst, that is the most dangerous driver without a win here tonight. Ethan Horst has 186 points. He's currently sitting in second. 4 top 10s and 3 top 5s. Of course, he is too consistent to ignore when it comes down to strategy, as we're already seeing pits open for some drivers now. Pickle Simmer, Yates, Alessi, and Jeremy James go in. Chris Perry, the first one to go in, comes out by himself. Robert McRae went in at lap 12. The driver still in pits. Adam Kilday, now your leader in a 5 car, excuse me. Top 5 all linked bumper to bumper. But of course, Horst too consistent to ignore, but of course wins matter. So right now we are looking to see if he will be able to break through and get his first win of the season. Now leaders coming to pit this time and the rest of the field. So that's going to put a big advantage to Pickle Simmer, as they are now going down the backstretch, coming into 3 and 4. They'll be able to catch up with the rest of the field, as they are still in right now. A lot not even touching their boxes. Pickle Simmer by himself coming out of 3 and 4. Already got a few drivers out. Vicente Guerrero out as well. Josh Ball, the entire field coming back out now as Pickle Simmer slowly coming around. 3 and 4 going into the tri-oval now. Josh Ball still not fully up to speed in the lead, trying to get back up on track. Pickle Simmer already marching past the start and finish line, passing a lot of cars in the apron that aren't going to be able to get up to speed. Now Pickle Simmer mixed in with a whole bunch of drivers. He's currently sitting in 18th place. Josh Ball comes out of pits as your leader. Good pit cycle for these top 4 drivers, as they didn't lose much time to their opponents. Now the biggest question is, will Ball have Ball to hold this lead for as long as it'll take for stage 1 to come out? Going around to this 69 right there, that's Robert McRae a lap down. Seems like McRae going to join on to the back of the field, holding on just barely on draft. That advantage would help the drivers. Good running up here from the top four. Josh Ball, Vicente Guerrero, Adam Kilday, and Daniel Holloway. Just barely holding on to draft. Dalton Gibson rounding out your top five, linked up with Todd Poston right now. Just behind them is Tyler Hurt in seventh. Stephen Alessi in eighth, with Trevor Yates in ninth. And rounding out your top 10 right now, Sam Taylor with a 4-car of Corey Rainey just behind. Mark Morton playing it safe, sitting in 12th place right now. He's up 13 positions from where he qualified, still able to make a run when he needs to. Holding on pretty good here. Ball holding on pretty good to this lead right now. No one really able to take it away, nor are they fighting for it right now. So that might be the biggest thing right now. No one really fighting for that lead, as they know the person behind saves a little bit more gas here. And of course, it's about 15 to 17 laps for a fuel rod. You'll be able to stretch it to maybe about 18, 19 if you're sitting behind. But of course, that's going to take a little bit to do. Looking pretty strong now. Tyler Hurt leading the secondary pack on this field right now. All single file should be slowly catching the leaders. Their gap to the lead right now is 5.7 seconds. Leaders just in sight, so it's not down and out for these drivers right now. It's still pretty early on. Lap 22 out of 100. Of course, stage break at lap 50. Right now, massive momentum swings to Gary Breland, like we said earlier. Breland up 7 positions on the scoreboard for him to third after a massive week last week. He's already a race winner this season. Of course, one win is always not enough as a driver. You want to go back and try to get more. Breland, a part of those cars, a lap down right now in the mix there. But of course, 1 top 5, 3 top 10s on the season. Can he continue this type of performance for that 23 machine and try to push it as far as he possibly can into a playoff run? course, still a grid lock position, not too far from each other right now. This is, of course, where chaos lives, and that's through 4th through 10th position. Dalton Gibson right now is tied 4th, consistent with two top 5s and 4 top 10s, but only has 7 stage points on the night, or on the season, excuse me. Of course, Christian Rhodes, the 1 car, he's a lap down right now. He's also tied in 4th with 2 stage wins and 27 points. He is sneakily strong. Of course, he has points built up without strong finishes. Of course, Matt Banky, the 35 we saw win last week, unfortunately got it stripped away. He's in 7th. He made a +4 position jump. He had a solid rebound and effort in the last race. Had a great look at the win. Took it, but unfortunately had it called back due to some technicalities. Of course, can he push to the front tonight and show the same speed he did just a few weeks ago? Chase Greer in the 40. He's in 6th. He dropped 3 positions. Momentum is cooling down, but overall consistently running up in the front, currently in 19th right now. Zach Stevens, also another one to watch in the mix of the chaos himself. He's in 8th with 25 stage points. Elite race control, but of course he's lacking consistent finishes. Joshua Riddle, he's 9th on points, +5 in a huge run in P2. Now firmly in the hunt for playoffs. And last but not least in this run, Eric Rodeman. He's in 9th right now, -5. He is slipping away down the charts after a strong start to the season. Can he avoid danger tonight and have a solid run? Currently in 30th, but still has time to make his runs. Of course, this entire group is separated by 1 race result. 1 bad week, and you may be on the outside looking in come playoff times. Of course, right now, Josh Ball still in the lead. Lap 27 of 100. Good racing here so far. We are Eagle. Appreciate it, buddy. I just looked at chat. Appreciate the gifted tier 1 sub. Guys, of course, 25 laps ad-free. We are now outside of that window. That sub gets you ad-free, not only for here, but for our other lives. 5 days a week. If you are an Amazon Prime user, you have the ability to use 1 free sub a month as well. Josh Ball still in the lead. Vicente Guerrero in 2nd. Adam Kilday in his debut with Guerrero in 3rd. Daniel Holloway in 4th, and Dalton Gibson rounding out your top 5. This pack slowly either pulling away or falling off. They are now 7 seconds away from the leaders. A few more drivers going into pits now. Ball gonna stay out. Right now, it is a lap 29 going on lap 30. We are going to hit a quick commercial break and get refreshed up here in the booth. Do not go anywhere, everybody. More racing action for the American Stock Car Racing League. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Taste your banana pudding, you taste my banana pudding. It's on. It's on.
I was going to say, will you marry me?
Is my makeup messy? Yes, it's messy.
Fact. Consumer Cellular can help people save on their cell phone bills. That's why I cut my car in half. This year, let's cut even more things to show people how much they can save. Let's cut the face off of our helmets. Let's cut the top off of our steering wheel. Let's even cut our hats.
Isn't that just a visor?
Shut up, Chris. Great. Can't wait to see what y'all come up with.
Get your second month free with Consumer Cellular.
We are back from a quick commercial break. Hope nobody went anywhere. Good time to use the bathroom if you didn't. Oh, well. Josh Ball still in the lead right now. Daniel Holloway in second. Vicente Guerrero in third. Adam Kilday in fourth. And Tyler Hurt rounding out your top five. This front pack really not differing right now. They are on pretty good pace to hold this lead strong. Looking as of right now, the amount of laps led for Ball is 18. Of course, lap 34 out of 100. too far from that first stage at 50. Holloway only led one lap tonight in second place, already setting himself up for success. Guerrero's led 3 as he was your pole sitter, and Kilday has already led 2 himself. Now, of course, these top 4 might not be able to hold it all night long. Tyler Hurt 13 seconds back from the leaders now. And they're slowly losing time, only 2 cars in this pack. The field is way spread out now. Poden in 6th, just behind. Mark Morton in 7th. With Corey Rainey in 8th. Dalton Gibson in 9th. With Alessi, Sam Taylor, and Ethan Horst. Oh, excuse me, that was actually Christian Rhodes. Ethan Horst in 12th. Picklesimmer sitting in 13th right now currently. Russ Hancock behind in 14th, and Kyler Adams way away in 15th. He's about 7 seconds away from Hancock. And behind, you have Tyler Green in the 24. Daniel Haff in the 32. Len McNeese. The 84 sitting in 18th place. Matt Banky in 19th right now. Chase Greer behind in 20th. Probably not what Banky expected to be. Where Banky expected to be at this point in time in the race. 13 more laps to go in stage 1. Right now, it looks like Josh Ball will be getting that win. Going back to some of the biggest storylines in the entire league right now. We've got a race winner outside of the playoffs, that being Russ Hancock right now. Multiple high stage point finishing drivers are outside of the playoffs. Of course, 0 room for effort right now. These are drivers that are currently in. Hancock is a winner, but only 16th in points with some bad luck. Trevor Yates hanging around, but has had no breakout on himself yet. Jeremy James is up 4, climbing at the right time, but still has to really work to get that spot. And of course, Dylan Picklesimmer down 1, 22 stage points, but finishing positions not matching. And these are the first 4 just out of the cut for 16th. Tyler Hurt currently in 12th. Quietly surviving right now off of just consistency alone. And of course, consistency really being king. The most difficult part right now is trying to stay as high up in a finishing position with consistency on a weekly basis. Of course, we've seen a lot of wrecks the last few weeks. At least plus 10 cautions on a weekly basis. This one really differing here tonight. Leaders in pits now. Ball, Holloway, Kilday, and Guerrero all in pits. That means Tyler Hurt 18 seconds back now, down to 13. Will get the lead going around this time. That could really shake things up with these drivers. Now looking at your leader, Tyler Hurt in the 97, posted in second. Sam Taylor in third. It's been clean here so far, without a doubt. Of course, appreciate all the subs here on the channel. We love watching the channel grow. XXYXX13 with the next sub, man. We appreciate that. So right now for this lead pack, 9 laps left to go in the stage. Will we see something reminiscent of the past? Will we see that move to the outside line from second or third place, trying to get the run, and it goes awry and they lose more than they gain? Will we see Tyler Hurt be able to block lines, block lanes, and hold that win? Or will we see chaos in the front of the field as all 7 of these drivers fight for a win for stage 1? 8 laps left to go. Pickleshimmer and Hancock in this time, as well as Breland and Chris Perry. Trying to remain strong here is the key. The leader has nothing to worry about but that big line of cars behind him in about 6 more laps. Right now lapping that pack of cars that went in there. Now everybody up to 15th place. Jeremy James all on lead lap. Christian Rhodes in 16th back, all at least a lap down. Pickleshimmer a lap down. Hancock, Half, and Adams. From 16th all the way back to 30th. Multiple laps down right now. Strom and Riddle 3 and 4 laps down at this point in time. Of course, 6 more laps to go. Will Hurt be able to take it all for himself? Now the leaders all into pits this time. They're going to be in for a quick stop, but Josh Ball going to go back to your leader with 5 laps to go. Josh Ball with a fantastic strategy there. Now him, Daniel Holloway, Guerrero, Gilday. And the 85, I believe 85 is a lap down. Sam Taylor rounding out your top 5, 17 seconds back. Oh no, 85 is Kilday, excuse me, looking at the board. Now it's 4 laps to go for stage 1. $33 a ball with a good run. Getting blocked a little bit there from lap traffic. Daniel Holloway now going to take the lead and runs away with it as well. Now Ball gonna get cut off by the 32 of half, who was a lap down. Lap traffic coming into play now with 3 laps to go in stage 1. Holloway currently your leader. Will we see Ball make a run to the outside? He's already trying to a little bit, doesn't want to lose his position, comes back down. For the lead as well, I believe, is Ball on the outside. Ball gets a good run away from Holloway. Is now back in the lead. 14 of Vicente Guerrero, not too far behind. 2 laps to go. Won this time by the line. Now really only has to worry about Guerrero, as Holloway is almost a full second back. Coming into 3 and 4, Ball in the lead. 14 to Guerrero, not too far behind. I don't believe he'll be able to make a run to the outside for it. If he does, it's going to be too late of a run. No run made as they pass the restart zone. Josh Ball going to cross the line for a stage 1 victory. Stage 1 now officially completed. Caution out. Josh Ball takes stage 1. 50 more laps to go here for the American Stock Car Racing League. Here with the Gen 4 cars at Talladega. ARN is going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be back with the restart for stage 2. Go get your drinks and take a bathroom break. We'll be right back. We are back for stage number 2. Stage 1 going to the car on your screen. The 33 of Josh Ball comes back out of pits and takes the position of number 1 again for stage 2 this time by. Now we're going to see some good racing as the field has and will re-rack after this stage break caution. Of course, coming back here to green, Daniel Holloway is going to be in second. Dalton Gibson in third. Mark Morden is in fourth. Todd Poston in fifth with Sam Taylor in sixth. Tyler Hunt in seventh. Stephen Alessi in eighth. Russ Hancock in ninth. And Daniel Haff rounding out your top 10. Of course, Ball choosing the high side. It's going to give Holloway the low side. While we're pacing, be sure to check us out 5 days a week. American Stock Car Racing League. What you're watching now, Mondays, 9:05 for the green flag. Right time ARCA series on Wednesdays with their truck series on Thursday, same time, 9:05 with their green flag. And of course, the NARS truck series on Fridays. And on Saturdays, the Gen 6 Cup cars, 8:45 Eastern, is the green flag. Now looking to get settled up here for the restart of stage 2. The lights are off on the pace truck, signaling we are back to green flag this time by. Pace truck off now. Josh Ball with the orders to give us the green flag back at his discretion. Coming to the restart zone, Josh Ball on the outside, green flag back out now. He got a good jump over the drivers there. Crosses the start finish line, goes to the bottom. Now, once again, how long will Ball be able to hold this position? He's led 33 laps on the night, still has a lot more racing to go. Will he be able to hold this position for too long? Take it away. Of course, Daniel Holloway sitting in second right now. He's only led 2 laps of this race tonight, but he has a very high consistency for top 5s. Already has some wins on the season, but of course always looking to add more. Already pretty early on, not seeing many fights. Big caution out now on the field. Yellow out, drivers wrecked. This is the first accident caution of the night. We're looking at Horst. He got caught up in this as well. Sam Taylor got it really bad there. You see the wreck just in front. Robert McRae able to get through. Josh Riddle as well able to get through. It's going to be the 97 of Tyler Hurt that initially has the situation on the field. Came down, got spun out by the 88 of Pickle Simmer. Of course, the 31 in the front, 45 also got caught up in it. A lot of drivers involved. It all seems to be coming from Hurt and Pickle Simmer. Now the fight's off pit road. Benefiting the 21 of Holloway. Holloway in the lead. Gibson in second. Ball now moving down third. Posting in fourth. And Vicente Guerrero rounding out your top five. Of course, it's going to be a tricky fight here early on for a few of the drivers that want to get some spots back or, you know, get up to top five where they haven't been so far here tonight. Now, of course, they are gridded up in shoes. Of course, Gibson and Holloway going to start 1 and 2. Ball in third, Poston in fourth. How will this restart work for Gibson? We've seen him up here already fight for the lead multiple times, now on the low side. Holloway going to start up high, all in 4th place. He's already led a lot of laps here in stage 1 with the stage 1 win. Now having to fight back for it here again. First wreck over with for the night. Green flag. Back out now. Now Holloway in first place. A little bit of separation from these top 6. Dalton Gibson going to be going to the high side pretty early on. Gibson with a go to run there, advancing 2 spots over Holloway. Another caution out in the back end. Robert McCray around that time. Trevor Yates also dealing with some damage, extensive. 35 of Matt Banky crashed into him as well. Of course, Chris Perry getting his night ended here as well. Of course, tough break for a lot of these drivers. 3rd caution out now. Poston is going to move up to first place with Tyler Green in 2nd. Guerrero in 3rd. Half in 4th. Few shakeups on the field now as pits are open. Now, of course, Poston in the lead. I don't believe he has led any laps here tonight other than the one under caution. Of course, pace truck lights still on. So we will not be back green this time. Of course, right now, lap 63. Third caution, about a third of the way over. Now this time, Poston is in the lead. He will take us back to the restart. Has been tricky here for a few drivers to really know when you need to pit and still keep that advantage on the rest of the teams out there. Green flag back out now. With this caution back out now, it is going to slow things down just a little bit. We were holding good, holding strong for a very long time here. Now, slowly but surely, the green flag is going to keep coming. The yellow flag is going to be coming, and the green flags are going to slowly settle down. Of course, Rodman went on the apron there that time, just before the green flag. So Rodman out, down and out for the night already. Ethan Horst in the 15 is where the contact started. Ethan and the 21 of Holloway. Back it up a little bit, see exactly what happened here. Now, fourth caution out on the night already. Third wreck caution. And of course, right now, Josh Ball going back out in first place. Now, of course, it's been a rough night so far. Josh Ball holding the lead. Doesn't seem like it's going to be go up without a fight if we keep pacing. Now, with the lead in the laps under caution with finishing. Green flag back out right now. Josh Ball in the lead. Vicente Guerrero sitting in second. Now the heat is back on. Who will be able to get the lead and run away with it? Lap 69 this time by. Only 30 more laps to go. Ball holding the lead pretty confidently and pretty strong here, even with the pit cycles. Has practically came out within about 5 to 10 fuel cycle, within at least 2 to 5 laps. At the end of that fuel cycle, whether he was in pits first or the second pack in, to be able to regain that spot. So eyes on him as we wind down. At least 2 more pit cycles to go before the end of the race. Not really, already a single file line. Now Ball doing really good right now. Still sitting in the front. Guerrero not too far behind, bumper locked, giving draft. Now, of course, Ball still in the lead right now. Guerrero holding second down strong, looking through the field. Alessi is in 6th place right now. He's up 13 spots from where he started the race tonight. Still has a lot of positions to go and move through. Of course, not the only one. Daniel Holloway still on the field. Holloway was a driver that has a pretty good season so far, of course. Well, I wouldn't even say pretty good, a really good season so far. Of course, trying to lock up the regular season champ with only a few more weeks in the playoffs. It might be possible. Looking at that 4-car right now, in front of Daniel Holloway is Corey Rainey. Sitting in 9th, Mark Morton in 8th now. Rainey back to where he gridded, but of course Ball still in the lead. No one taking any time. No one trying to make a maneuver. Everything's still pretty comfortable. .42 laps in the lead now for Josh Ball. 27 laps to go. We've still got some crazy racing on our hands and at least one more fuel cycle. So don't go anywhere. hold on to your horses and give us a few minutes, because we will be back after we take this commercial break.
Masker can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force it off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom. Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging. And to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
You got a great car, great team. Let's go execute. Start time. We know what we got to do. Stay in the fight between the walls.
Time to turn the intensity up.
Fight to the end, no matter what happens. Good day to be in victory lane.
Green flag is in the air. Driving with conviction.
Side by side, hammer down.
The after-catcher will count out anybody. Who wants it the most?
We are eyes on the leader now.
He is driving his guts out. Wheel to wheels, they come to the line. Victory this will be.
Nobody wants it more than you.
Next flag is going to end it.
Does he have enough? Holy cow! A dominant performance.
You're gonna say no, baby. Let's go.
Can you believe what you are seeing? Everybody pushing as hard as they can get it. One final shot.
Gotta earn this thing. Run here to the end.
It is all on the table.
A total 500.
Your
And of course, back from commercial break, a little bit of a wreck. About the middle way of that commercial break, all drivers went into pits. That from Chase Greer in the 40. Greer and Pickleson are both getting involved there. Greer still on the field right now. Picklesimmer a position just in front. Now, of course, after this restart, it's going to be the 5th restart of the night. 4 accidents so far on the night, 1 caution for stage break. Now, ball in the restart zone. Green flag back out this time. Adam Kilday in second. Guerrero in third. It's getting to a dicey point in the night. Of course, most dangerous stats in the league right now is all stage points. Holloway is one of the top guys with 29 points. Rhodes is a close second with 27. Stevens in third with 25. Picklesimmer in fourth with 22 points, stage points. The fastest driver at stage are, of course, not the highest in points. When these guys finally put full races together, the entire playoff picture flips instantly. Of course, right now, still looking for the next win watch for the 15 of Horst. Dalton Gibson or Chase Greer, who will break through next. Your must perform now drivers are Poston, Yates, and Rodman, excuse me. So we have another caution out now. Happened just in front of Gibson. It's the one of Christian Rhodes sliding down there. Of course, now looking at this re-rack. Holloway going to be in your lead position. Tyler Hurt in second. McNess in third. Poston in fourth. And Ball now dropping down to fifth, rounding out your top five. Now, of course, pit cycles are open. Drivers changing up a lot. Tyler Hurt is going to come out as your new leader, with Tyler Green in second. Holloway in third. McNessy in fourth. And Poston rounding out your top five. Morton currently in first right now. Now, of course, Morton currently in the lead. 7th caution here of the night. Rainey now in second. Sitting in the back starting to prevail for a few of these drivers. Now they made their way up to the front. Ball has had a multiple laps in the front of the pack. He's still comfortably sitting within the top 5. Not too far away from the lead, of course, still has some time to go. Of course, here 45 has not had much of an opportunity to hold the lead strong here, be in the lead at all. Now Morton and Rainey, two drivers who are pretty comfortable with each other, are going to be able to do it now. Pace car goes off. Morton gets the green this time in the restart zone. Green flag back out now. Mark Morton holding on pretty good to the lead. Corey Rainey in second. Banky up in third. Daniel Half in fourth. Guerrero in fifth, running out your top 5. Of course, 8 laps to go. Who's going to be able to hold on to that position? Morton has yet to be up here until now. Still has a lot left to go. 8 laps is not fast pace. Of course, someone coming back from last week, trying to get it done this week. Banky in 6th. He's up in the top 5. Just outside, was in the top 5 there for a little bit, falling back a few positions as the top line is getting it done pretty quick here. Banky with contact and another wreck in the back. Dalton Gibson. .32 as well onto the infield. It doesn't seem to have any caution that time. There it is now. Caution officially out. Dalton Gibson, the start of it right there. Went off-field pretty hard. A little bit of a bump from the rear end. Started in front with the 35 of Banky. 97 stacked up a little bit. 88 of Picklesimmer went into Gibson. A little bit of a solo spin there. And then, of course, not much luck from Brandon Matthews. Oh, we're going to have to pull it back a little bit more. Matthews with a spin out here himself. A little bit of a tap. And sent slammed into the inside wall. Nose first. And a lot of damage on the 32 as he is going to jump to pits. Not going to be able to continue. Then, of course, now Daniel Half going to be in the lead at that time. Half going to be up in the front now with Josh Ball and Vicente Guerrero in third. Adam Kilday going to be in fourth. Daniel Holloway rounding out your top five right now, and Holloway looking to at least finish there at another consistent top five to his list. Of course, pits open this time by is the 32 of Half going to go in or stay out is the biggest question. Eighth caution here of the night. We have a little network error there. Majority of drivers in this top five have not held the lead for too long. Half has only had 2 laps. Guerrero started in the lead, has only had 3. Josh Ball at 49 laps of this race, still in a good position to finish out. Kilday only with 2, and of course Holloway with 8 laps. Finishing out in 5th place. There are still enough opportunities in this race for someone to walk away with a win. Now, double file for hopefully the last restart as we go to lap 98. The next time by, we're on lap 96 right now, finishing 97. It's going to be Guerrero in Half. Line 1 taking us back to restart. Half your control car on the bottom. Interesting restart here. Driver to really be watching is going to be the 21 of Holloway, as he has had enough time in the front of the field these last 5 races, and even including tonight, so you might as well put 6. Of course, Todd Poston really trying to reel it in, as he cannot have another bad race. Otherwise, you can practically wrap his season up with a bow. Now half going to be in the restart zone in the tri-oval this time by. Green flag back out, 3 laps to go this time past the line. Half currently going to be in the lead. You're already seeing Ball make a run to the outside. Half with a good block there. Will he block the low side again? They're leaving a clear lane for Holloway to make up time. Josh Ball at the bumper, the 32, the entire run so far. Two to go. White flags out. There will be no more cautions. 32 of half still in the lead. Ball not trying to make any aggressive moves early. Twenty-one to Holloway trying to get a run on the bottom side. There, 3 wide, just barely for third. Ball going to be out of the line. There's a wreck happening in the backfield as they cross the line. Will caution be thrown? White flag is out, unfortunately, for those drivers. Another wreck happening on the top side. Holloway at the right place at the right time. Guerrero and McNeese second and third right now. Guerrero trying to get draft on that high side. Not many cars down there to try to get a win. Another huge wreck in the backfield. Coming into the tri-oval. Holloway in the lead. Another wreck behind. No contest. Daniel Holloway takes another one. Daniel Holloway takes another one in the books. Daniel Holloway is able to take it here tonight after a tough race for a few drivers. A lot of wrecks on that last lap. Was about the worst one right there. Of course, while all that's happening, Daniel Holloway, the right place at the right time. Be able to take the win here tonight. We're only going to talk to our top two. The 84 of McNessie and the 21 of Holloway. As our third place finisher of Corey Rainey, not going to be able to do an interview. So let's go to our 84. Our second place finisher. So you started in, 31st position. Pretty far back in the field, of course. A lot of time to be able to maneuver yourself back up in the front. And, of course, did so at a good point in time in the race. How do you feel like the race went here tonight?
And then went a lap down, and then the last half seemed to be a lot of cautions, and that kind of helped put us back on the lead lap, and was able to just get lucky and miss some of the wrecks and get up there back into the front.
Now, of course, Gen 4 car is kind of unforgivable, especially when there's damage on the vehicle. Do you feel like with the driving here, it was kind of inevitable to have this many cautions towards the end of the field? Or do you feel like some of the guys just got aggressive too late in the race?
I'm going to say a lot of it's this draft package they got going on right now. There's a big bubble between the cars. You can't draft. It's hard to get up there and push. And I think that creates a lot of disturbance between all the cars, which I feel like could be some of the wrecks there at the end.
Now, of course, like we said, started in 31st, really had to move your way through the field to get in a good position for the last 3 laps. How was that race from the back to the front for you?
It was interesting, that was for sure, having to zigzag through there and go through all of that. It was, there's a few wrecks there that was close, and it was, and so it was interesting. I didn't know if I could get back up there or not, to be honest. I was kind of got lucky a few times and missed a couple of the big wrecks and was able to sneak up there, so that helped.
Now, of course, the last race in the Gen 4 cars, as we move on to the Xfinity cars, and then, of course, I don't think we will see the Gen 4 cars back up until the playoffs, if any at all. Gen 4 will be the round of 8. So, of course, going to Xfinity next week, for the next 2 weeks, and then Gen 6. How are you feeling about your opportunity to possibly put yourself in victory lane before we get to the playoffs?
I don't know. It's going to be tough. There's some good drivers over here and a lot of good competitors. So just got up in the right place tonight and was able to help Daniel get up there and push him on up there to the win. And it was just I'd like to get up there and try to win one of these, but if iRacing don't fix the draft package on these things, I hope they don't have to come back to them.
And of course, before we let you go and enjoy the rest of your night, do you have any shout outs you'd like to give to anybody?
Well, definitely we'll give a shout out to all the admins over here and putting these races on and all the behind the scenes. Your broadcast you're putting on, did a great job on that. Only the second race over here with these guys, so I'm still learning a lot of them. So it seems like a good group of guys to be racing with.
Well, of course, congratulations on your second place finish here tonight after a tough race to have to endure, especially starting in the back. Hopefully more top 3 finishing positions for you, as long as I guess the driving around you is nice for the rest of this season.
Yeah, and Mr. Holloway's yelling. He said he's back if you're trying to get him. So
well, we're about to pull him in next. So, of course, congratulations on that top 3. And we definitely look forward to possibly talking to you more the rest of the season.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you a lot.
Thank you, man. That was your second place finisher of Len McNessie. Now to someone that has been dominant. The most dominant driver on the field, the one that has practically solidified his run now. It's the 21 of Daniel Holloway. Is Daniel back?
Hello, Tyler.
There he is. Man, cannot escape your voice here in the booth, and it doesn't seem like it's going to end anytime soon. Third win on the season now. Already sitting first in points. Really comfortable coming in. Now you're going to have a big advantage after this win. As we were watching you all night to see if you were going to be able to pull yourself back up in that top 3. Of course, able to get the win here tonight. Keeping it as consistent as always, adding another top 3 finish onto your season. And at this point, practically putting you hands down for the regular season title. So, of course, after that race, how are you feeling?
Well, that was a kind of a tough race, I thought, to me for tonight. Just the first 50 laps was really good. Green flags, and my goal with the green flags is staying with those top 3 that joined us tonight, the first race with us, and they did one heck of a job. My goal was just to stay with them towards the stage point, which it worked, and almost got to stage 2, but lap traffic and their teammates as far as got me there. I knew I was a kind of a sitting duck, but then it was like a reset button at 50, and then we had some cautions, which, cautions breed cautions. But I had a feeling right there in the last restart for the checker flag that outside was just going to go. And shout out to Lynn. And I want to say either Todd or Tyler was behind Lynn. And we just kind of kept the momentum enough to not have them pull away. And I could be wrong, but I think right there coming to the white flag, either Josh got hot or blew an engine. I'm not sure, but that just like killed the top line. And the 32, I think, that was leading there, when he came to the inside, I just had to jump to the outside to make that move. And the momentum we had going, and then in that white flag on, it was just mirror driving both lines, and to keep those two, whatever had the momentum to kind of block it or just go with it.
Now, of course, really solidifying your playoff run, practically walking away with a regular season champ right now. With you finding this much success in the regular season, you have to already be thinking about your playoff run and how far you're going to be able to take that as well.
Well, I mean, playoffs is a whole different atmosphere because it's like a reset button. But I think I'm pretty comfortable as far as the regular season. But anything can happen. I can get caught up and just have the bad luck in going into the playoffs. So each race, I'm just going to each race as far as I just got to finish top 5, top 10, whatever I can get out of it. Keep it going, and then worry about the other races later on. So just take one race at a time and just hit my marks, and when the time being, and try to be up front at the end. I know the beginning of the race, when I led the lap, I went from first to 22nd. I'm like, well, I'm not going to get any help with anybody because I'm just blown away into points, but hit the reset button like 3 laps after, and I think I went from 22nd to 3rd in a few laps, and that was fun going through the field like that. But this 21, I know I have a different paint scheme, an old classic Ricky Rudd Air Force, and I know Corey Rainey said he was in the Air Force, so I told him, and again, I'll say it out here, thank you for your service, and appreciate everything that he's done in the past. And I thought kind of be a little sneaky, have little wings on the car this time, and it worked.
Well, definitely paint scheme probably helped you a little bit there, get to the front of the pack. Like you were saying, you fell off pretty early on there, back to 21st. We actively watched that on the broadcast and kind of felt like it was probably a strategy move for you, save a little bit of gas there. We saw Josh Ball lead a lot of laps. They had pretty good pit cycles under green flag conditions, which kind of led them to hold the lead for a long time. Did you kind of feel like you had that last run at the end of stage 2 there to possibly get them, get that momentum back for yourself, get within that top 5, or, with all those green flag laps with Ball in the lead, did you kind of feel like it was possibly a little bit unreachable?
Yeah, with those 3 as a teammate, I'm just a sitting duck. It was just pretty much just ride and push whoever, because I wouldn't been able to do anything unless one of them blew up for pushing. Who knows? Or they fuel mileage got them. It was just a sitting duck. But I raced with those guys in the past, and they're really good drivers. And kudos to them coming in here. Already was leading, got the pole. But I stole the win from them. So. But they'll get their shots up there. They'll get their wins. They're really good drivers. All these drivers in here, week after week, that shows up and stuff, and put all the effort in here, practices, and I think 7 cautious minus the stage point. That was a lot better than last week. That's for sure.
Now, of course, with the Gen 4 cars coming to a close until the round of 8 first race of the playoffs, looking towards Xfinity next week. How are you feeling about that car yourself?
Oh, I'm good with the Xfinity. They're on there. I'll have the Hershey Kisses back on the paint scheme, and then back to the Gen 6 where we started. So one race at a time. That's all we can do right now.
And of course, before we let you go, enjoy your win and the rest of your Monday. Do you have any shout outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, shout out to you up in the booth, Tyler. You do an awesome job each week, even though I know I've been up here each week, but still, with everybody else and you talking and stuff and broadcasting, you do one heck of a job. All the admins throughout the race and afterwards, putting the hard work in. I'm just kind of a backseat driver in case they need me to help them out. Russ, Tyler, Todd, Dalton. I know he had his ups and downs tonight. I'm not sure where he finished, but I think he was a little rough tonight. Lynn, good job. Second place, coming in here, just starting 2 races. I think he's got top 10s already. So very quiet. He's a sneaky driver and doesn't say much. And he'll be winning a race here pretty soon. And the league, ASCRL, gotta shout out to them for putting this together and everything with Dalton and everybody out there that's watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the show.
Well, of course, man. Congratulations to you on another win on the season, another top 5, and now slowly running away on the points as your regular season championship is practically wrapped up with a bow. Definitely look forward to talking to you next week, because at this point I am confident enough you will be up here again with as consistent as you've been.
Yeah, thank you. So far, so good. And you guys have a good night.
Yes, sir. You too. And that was our winner of tonight's race. Daniel Holloway takes it away for the 3rd win on the season for himself tonight. Been a little difficult for some drivers here tonight to really keep the momentum going, but of course, where it mattered the most, Holloway came in and took it for himself. Now looking at your finishing position one more time. Daniel Holloway gets the win here tonight. Len McNessie finishing in 2nd. Corey Rainey in 3rd. Vicente Guerrero in 4th. And of course, Matt Banky just in top 5, trying to redeem himself with that win, but unfortunately just couldn't get it. Of course, on behalf of the Asphalt Racing Network, we'd like to thank you guys for joining us here tonight for the American Stock Car Racing League. Be sure to check us out Wednesday for Right Time, ARCA Series, and Thursday for the Truck Series, NARS Trucks on Friday, and the Gen 6 cars on Saturday, and then right back here on Monday for American Stock Car Racing League. It has been a pleasure to call another one. But of course, all good things must come to an end, and tonight we have seen Holloway take the 3rd win to wrap up the first race after the halfway point for American Stock Car Racing League. So of course, we are going to leave you as always with the white flag lap, and we look forward to catching y'all next time.